Finally home, I washed my hands, rinsing the dirt that stained my fingertips by scraping my nails with one another until all the sediment had disappeared. I was exhausted and weary. I had just walked home through the streets of Oakland from a taxing 8-hour shift at the local community garden. Even though my compensation was a small tray of vegetables and fruits, I came home feeling content with my work despite my fatigue. To be honest, the day didn't start with this feeling of satisfaction. Instead, it began with hours of maintaining the garden in a squatted position as the sun beamed its rays on my sweaty face. Again and again, I pulled one weed after another of an invasive species that stole the space of the garden beds from the plants like tomatoes, green onions, and bok choy, which deserved to bloom in their place. By the afternoon, I was rethinking volunteering there and even thought about finding other places to earn my hours. When the farmer told me to hop on the bus, drove down to the Berkeley food pantry, and had me load on a metric ton of weighed food back onto the bus, it felt like the second last straw from breaking the camel's back. Still, one last task stood in between me and being able to go home at last. Finally, for the concluding hours of the day, I distributed food from the pantry and the garden to the community. I recall seeing the line of 30 families and over 100 individuals whom I passed cucumbers to that day. Old grannies argued with me and insisted that I gave them the most perfect cucumbers. A lady in her apron from work pushed a stroller through the distribution lines. A mother carried her baby on her hip as her son tried feeding the farmer's chickens lettuce. Many individuals still in their work uniforms alongside countless other faces who all came with free, fresh, healthy food. If you live in Oakland, you probably live in a food desert if you don't live in the hills or downtown. This means many folks hop on the bus for 30 or more minutes to buy their groceries, or if they're lucky, drive back and forth 10 minutes each to a grocery store since there aren't any nearby them. This is a reality that redlining has manifested in our city. It turned the act of purchasing nourishing food into a time-consuming chore. I always accepted this fact, alongside all the other challenges Oakland faces because of redlining, such as its crime and poverty. But as I saw the spark in the people's eyes as they received fresh food from the garden, I smiled because I felt a greater sense of value in the work I did, and I brought that smile home. I felt like I didn't accept things as they are anymore. I was no longer a sheep stuck in his pen. Although I have fond memories of my dad bringing me to the corner store to buy me chips, I realized the harm they do to our community today. The selection of food, the chips, candy, and soda may taste good, but they are slowly killing us. That day, as I walked home from the garden with my tray of produce, I saw the corner store that stood 5 steps away from the garden, and I realized how they are like an invasive species to our communities, taking space from the grocery stores and gardens, which are spread like flowers spread out thin. To those of you watching, let's raise awareness on this issue, shine light, or even work with the organizations working toward change, such as Active Nonverbal Youth Urban Forum Project and Indigenous Permaculture, and take actions such as asking store owners for fresh produce or by asking our city council for more grocery stores. Peace out.